Hey guys, welcome in. My name is AJ.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
Today we got a controversial video that's been spurring around the Eastern Hemisphere in a country named India, which is the most populous country in the world. There is a controversial Starbucks ad, and it's making a lot of reactions go. It's causing a lot of reactions, and let's just play the video, and then we'll talk about why.
सुनो इस बार गुस्सा मत होना प्लीज। थैंक यू पापा फॉर मीटिंग यू। आई नो बड़े साल बीत गए, लेकिन आप आज भी मेरे लिए सब कुछ हो। मेरे लिए तो आज भी मेरा बच्चा है। तो बस एक लेटर ही तो आया हुआ है तेरे नाम में।
So as you can see, this has caused a lot of uproar in India. So basically, as you can see, NBC News did an article on it. It's basically a 2 minute video, and as you can see, I understand Urdu, so the subtitles were perfectly uh correct on English. So uh I think Starbucks needs to know its customer when it's global. I think it's pushing this agenda because I mean I understand what they're doing. Uh, it's a the transgender and the transgender phobia started in the West, and it's like spreading to other continents. But like here, over here in we have Florida, and we have mostly Republican states going against that exact agenda. And now they're spreading it in India where it's even more conservative. I mean, if you ever been to India and like those countries, they don't accept this, you
So
know.
that was my question to you, since it's a different culture. How is that taken? I mean, would are they a little bit more open to take that change on society in India, or is it they're more conservative?
I think it's like the younger kids are becoming more liberalized. But the people that still run that country is very conservative. So India is the biggest democracy in the world. And that being said, they have their own, the same voting systems and everything like that, how we do. So that's why it's known as the biggest democracy in the world. And this is like a start to it. Uh, Going back to the video, uh, there's parts where you can tell the dad is very he's fighting his um inner thoughts, basically, like
Yeah.
he basically saying, or he's probably thinking in his head that, the kid is an embarrassment to him. What are other people going to say? What are other people going to think? And the child is basically saying that, who cares what other people think? This is how I feel. This is who I am. This is my true body and everything. And you could definitely feel the disconnect in that ad. But him, going over there and saying that, I still support you, which, you know, to have a child, to have a parent support, I understand, but sometimes a child needs to understand their parents too,
Right. It's a both way
Yeah, it's a two-way street, you know,
acceptance.
and you could show that in the ad, you can show it in movies, you could show it to make it like you seem that, oh, these kind of things are okay because that's what happens, and me growing up watching Bollywood movies, right? Uh Alcohol was mostly uh doomed as a very, or deemed as a very bad thing. There was a scene where like they if the villain would tell him, "Oh, if you want this, then you have to drink alcohol. You have to eat a slice of meat or this and that." So then he would drink the alcohol and act like it's poison and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now in Bollywood movies, alcohol is in like every song, you can't have fun without alcohol. Pushing that Western agenda. Uh, Now it's, the LGBTQ agenda. There was a movie that came out in Bollywood, uh, and it's basically a dude that's a hardcore, man, pumping iron, pumping, at the gym, basically working out, and he's into females and everything. And then he sees one female, he's attracted to her, but it actually turns out to be a guy, and he's just like, "Oh shit, I can't believe I had sex with you, duh duh duh, this and that." It was a very modernized movie, a very liberalized movie, especially in that country. The way they do it is a little more, they don't, over expose or anything, but you could tell that, the movies were that are they're showing now is to liberalize the younger youth, and to show it's okay. So
Yeah.
the end of that movie, basically within like a week, he just realizes, oh, the same feelings that I had for that girl, I miss her and this and that, and he just completely forgets that she's a guy, and then says, "It's okay if you're a guy, I still love you the same way," blah blah. And it's totally mind-boggling to me, like, if you had such strong feelings and it just evaporates, love makes it evaporate, and it's okay. uh but in reality, none of that ad, that movie, is not what happens. What happens
So
to
what
trans and gay people over there, people are violent, and I'm not for that, obviously, but that's what the reality is over there.
so 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 basically they don't have the freedom that they do here in the US, right? So they will probably be punished.
I mean, they passed the LGBTQ law. I mean, you could get married to, a guy or a girl if you're a guy or a girl. Uh,
Hmm.
and they're basically, feeding the youth that, these kind of things are okay and it's natural and all that stuff. But a lot of the conservatives, just like in the US, are fighting against that. They don't think it's okay. So, like, this article I want to share was basically by NBC News. Basically, it's a 2-minute ad titled "It Starts with Your Name," depicts a Hindi-speaking family meeting at a Starbucks to reconcile their father's strained relationship with his trans daughter. After the brief tension, the man shows his acceptance of his daughter by ordering coffees for everyone under the new name Urpita. Um, Basically, this ad has been viewed millions of times since its release last week, and the reactions have run a gamut from praise to staunch opposition. Many South Asians said the depiction hits close to home I don't see how it's many South Asians. It's not like it's an epidemic, you know, like people are, you know, it's not like a disease or anything. Some would say it's like a mental illness, or some will say that, you know, it's how they feel inside. That's the opposition, you know, and uh over there in India, like, you know, if the westernized, if whatever you watch in a Hollywood movie, over there, they'll make it even more dramatic. So like if a girl wears short shorts here, you know, it's okay, you know, it's been, you know, it's everywhere, you know, you don't, unless if you're a really big pervert, you know, you'll look at it twice or three, or you stare. But over there, like it's like if you wear short shorts, everyone stares. Everyone's like gonna question. Everyone's gonna like question your character. How could she wear something so short? It's
Because it's not something that is
yeah,
normal,
it's not
right?
something that's normal. So over there, you can tell, you know, everything's gonna be 10x whatever happens in the West. So right here, I cannot imagine being estranged from my children for any reason, let alone for them being who they are. But I know not everyone is there yet. This advert from Starbucks from India, still an incredible conservative country, sends a powerful statement. But some in the US and India lambasted for going woke, even calling the boycott of the company. And as much as they want to commercialize that uh yeah, it's a powerful statement, this and that. It's mostly a few people. Like you could say 100 of people would say that, but I'm talking about the people that don't tweet, the people that don't, you know, use social media as their platform to speak, and many Indians don't. Even though it's like a big populated country, a lot of people are just gonna boycott that without even expressing it to other people. You know what I'm saying?
So
Uh,
now go ahead. I was gonna actually ask you.
it's just like the Bud Light thing that happened in America. That's what's happening in Starbucks.
I was gonna ask you something close to that. What do you So you think that this is gonna be bad for Starbucks? I mean, India, like you
A
said, is a
big
big
conservative
country.
country. I think it's gonna face a lot of backlash in the beginning, obviously. And you know, when these things happen, remember, India is also a capitalist country too. So there's going to be other companies taking advantage of this. They're going to be trying to send messages to those conservative, because there, you know, there's a balance in you know, what you want to do. The best analogy someone gave me is when a lot of people started having sex and everything, there was a lot of diseases being spread, pregnancies happening, you know, all sorts of stuff. What happened? Some capitalist made a condom. So, so
So there,
there's gonna be
the
somebody that's gonna be, you know, for this woke agenda, and all the woke people that, you know, support this ideology will support Starbucks. And there's gonna be a lot of conservative folks that used to like Starbucks are gonna go another way because they don't want to support something that they don't believe in. And now it's, you know, branding off of belief. That's what a lot of these companies are doing. Like Bud Light, they believe that, you know, now we need to go for a different area. You know, they're trying to like, what their ideology is that, you know, and we're trying to bring everybody, you know, diversify our country and bring everybody, include everybody. That's what we're trying to do. It's a great message, but you got to understand that, you know, there's some people that do not see this as diversifying. They see this as brainwashing. Uh, when there's people that, like, you know, the argument is basically that like what we have in the school teaching, like people don't want their kids to know about the LGBTQ and how they do their acts in at school. You know, you don't see how mom and dad, you know, there'll be a health class session for it, but they're not going to show what kind of positions and stuff like that. You know, you after a certain age, you can go read the Kama Sutra, you know, and figure
right.
it out. But you know, a lot of people basically are gonna probably you know, like right here, Starbucks facing a backlash in India after going full Bud Light. If saturating the market with a mediocre US coffee brand wasn't bad enough, now they are bringing their woke corporate culture to the subcontinent. A spokesperson for Starbucks said that despite the backlash, the company will continue to support the trans community. At Starbucks, we unequivocally support the LGBTQIA2+ community, the representative said. Our campaign in India, it starts with your name, shows how Tata Starbucks is committed to making people of all backgrounds and identities feel welcome. We will continue to use our voice to advocate for the greater understanding on the importance of inclusion and diversity across the communities we serve around the world. Now, one thing which they don't understand, and what I've seen, India is more of an emotional country.
So
Here there's more law and order. Over there there's law and order, but over there, man, if there is a group of people, it's not like, you know how you see here, you'll have 50, 100 people, you know how the BLM did it when they were breaking things and all that stuff. No, in India it gets crazier, it gets worse. Those people don't care, they have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Those type of people are dangerous, and I
so
don't
so
think Starbucks understands the the severity of this. They have I mean, over there people have nothing to lose, they'll do it for fun. It's insane what they're what they're provoking. Like, if you have an ideology and it affects people's beliefs and everything, I mean, you could say what you want, oh, we're brave to do this, we're brave to do this. There's nothing brave about your ideology. If you want to be trans, but you don't need to, like, express it to everyone else that, hey, accept me, accept me, accept me. If people don't accept you, it's okay. That you teach that to, like, people when they grow up in school, that, hey, if someone isn't nice to you or if it is not accepting, it's okay. Do go somewhere else where you are accepted. So, I think the trans community should have their own, you know, uh where place where, in a more better way where they feel more accepted, instead of, like, putting ideologies in people's brains and stuff like that, hey, it's okay, it's okay.
so basically what you're saying is, I mean, you personally, you have no problem or whatever choice they go about. The problem is
Why
them
put gas on the
advertising
fire?
it.
Well, if there's a fire, why put more gas on there?
So basically, it's just keep it private. Your
Yeah.
choice is your choice, and keep it private. Let the country develop organically. So they don't have anybody come in and start promoting something that maybe people doesn't want to see it, or maybe people are not ready to see it yet, and they're not ready to see those changes yet. US is extremely advanced with that, uh with this with the group, uh transgender, and all these other groups. The US is very advanced. And from what I hear you saying is that India is conservative. It has morals. Not saying that the US doesn't, but just go ahead and do it in a way where it's going to be organic. Just let the people, whoever choose to come out or share it, just let them be who they are and do it naturally, not by watching a commercial. Because that probably gonna keep people confused. Maybe somebody is not even doesn't even know if it is or if it's not. And by watching a video of that nature, maybe they'd be like, okay, you know what? I am, and I'm going to come out now, and I'm gonna go ahead and let people know.
Yeah.
It just
It's
it's
not like
not
a tattoo, you can't reverse
right.
it.
Right. It's not, it may be the Indian community, the country as a whole is a little bit more serious, or a lot more serious than the US. Because here everybody goes by their business. Somebody promote it or say something, most of us, they go by our business. Like I keep doing what I need to do. If
Well,
you promote it,
I think compared to US and India, here people like okay, if you have like if you had a lot of money, you run a business, you make a lot of money, you're gonna spend time thinking about how to expand that money. You're gonna look for different ways to see where you can accumulate more money, correct?
right,
Now, if you were working 8 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, you have bills to worry about. What is going to be your main focus? That you have to keep this job, you have to provide, right?
you have to work. Yes, sir.
Now, when you okay, and let's say when back to you being a boss, we're very rich, you have a lot of money to spend. You might want to think of some lucrative ideas to make other money, maybe open up a club, you know, have something a fun and lucrative, sensual business that a normal, person couldn't afford to open, right? And
Right.
you have the money to do that. So it's the same way, what I'm trying to say is basically in the US, a lot of people make more money. Like an average, not like basically, if you come to look at it, the average salary a person makes is basically 70% more than what the average person makes on the rest of the world. You see what I'm saying? Like we're like up here compared to the rest of the world's salary. So what America makes is a lot more than what an average person makes anywhere else around the world, right?
Right.
So we get more thoughts in our head. We have more time to and put money to buy, clothes, Gucci, Prada. Most of Americans, they want their iPhones or Samsung and this and that. And in India, that's like a luxury. It's a luxury to afford that. So in India, a lot of people don't have the money. They're day to day, working hard for to provide food on the table because there's more than 1 billion people there, right? It's like it's like finally getting out of the skirts of a third world country. So when you put these kind of ideologies on their head, they don't have time to think for that. They don't have they don't consider that they're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what is this a guy is a guy, a girl is a girl, they don't have the
Right.
capacity to what they're thinking. Why would you what they're saying is, why do these Americans think of these kind of things? Like, why they have so much time in their hand, they want to change their body, they want to look better, this that, they have so much free time in their hand that they think of crazy stupid things. So when when you're saying that uh there's a comparison to basically India and US, that's the main comparison. The US has more time for these ideologies and they want to feed it to the rest of the world because it's a way to make money. These surgeries aren't cheap. These surgeries are not cheap. They're going to make money off of these surgeries, and it's basically, when you're saying that, hey, that we support the trans community. In what way are you supporting the trans community?
Maybe when they said that, maybe it's by just saying that
You're basically asking them, okay, come to Starbucks, we support you, we want your business, so spend
right,
money on us. That's basically what they're saying. They're not doing anything to help you or your family or anything like that.
right. Wait, how long do you think this is gonna, if it goes negative towards Starbucks? How soon do you think this is gonna be
We'll find out in their
upfront?
global. Oh, we'll find out maybe this quarter or the next quarter.
Because
So
with Bud Light, that was like that negative action happened like in days. So do you think Starbucks is gonna have the same issue back in India, like where the market, and it's gonna become a big deal. Like maybe in 2 days, by maybe Saturday, we will see something negative towards the Starbucks from the Indian community or from India.
Yeah, I think within a month. So it's been 9 days since that ad's been out. So we might be getting some, financials coming out, seeing how they're doing, because it, it's okay to like it's completely acceptable that they want to have an ad like that. It's I completely understand, but the way it was demonstrated in that ad, uh if I was a father, and if I was Urpita or anything like that, you got to realize both of them have their little selfish mentality. Like she wanted to be oh, I mean, sorry, he
I think it's
was
she.
he became a she, and
Oh,
did not respect what the father uh wishes, or father's credibility through his society or anything like that would be. It was a self desire that I feel like this, and I wanted to be a girl, because that's what my truth is. And now the father's mentality is like, I can't believe you did this. How do you feel like this? It makes me feel like, there's something wrong with you, something wrong with me, something wrong with our family. And, now I can't show my face to other people. And, then they come together like, who cares? You live your life, I live my life. It's like it slowly becomes in the mentality. And this is what people don't really understand. When you have that mentality of, okay, this is how I felt, this is how I felt, da, 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 and not truly like, meditate or like think or for a second that, why am I having these kind of feelings, or what is actually happening, instead of like, grasping what's coming around the society. Like for the father, I would say that, he should still care for his child, but before that transition happened, it'd be like, hey, are you sure? And not be like, very like neglect the child. Like, so that's why he supposedly he hasn't seen her in a while. So don't neglect the child. Ask questions. Be like, hey, are you sure you feel like this before you make this step? Be supportive and be there for the child to actually understand what is going on in their head. And
so
then,
what you're saying is be there in the process of it
correct,
and
because
be supported.
yeah, because then, when you have this like, okay, well, I guess I'll live with it, I guess I'll live with this attitude, you're basically, having that attitude that, if whatever happens, like it is what it is, that kind of mentality that people are having, is going to affect their overall happiness. And that's why a lot of people aren't happy, because if you shouldn't be settling for these kind of things to like affect you, like, be there for your family. And you got to understand that, for the father it's probably hard, because he's probably working for the family and stuff like that. And then uh the mother just wanted, I guess, was the housewife and stuff like that, because that's a lot of Indian families over there. The wives are usually housewives. But I mean, that is changing too. Now women are basically being empowered over there, going to work and everything. But again, that's the Western society's influence going into India. Now the women want to work and, provide for themselves, have an independent lifestyle. And you'll probably see the same situation of like maybe failed families going towards, that subcontinent. You might
Yeah.
see higher divorce rates. These things are going to happen. So with that being said, I mean, you just got to realize this is where the tradition comes in, like the good side. You gotta, like, you can't like look at the bad side of this tradition or this good side. See what actually can help you guys out in a family, and make more family decisions, instead of, either if it's a Western decision mindset, our Eastern, mindset. Don't keep both. Look for the best on, because you got to look at the best that whatever those both worlds provide, and succeed through that. Don't look at oh, if it's West, I have to be all West, or if it's East, I have to be like all Eastern. Or like if it's all modern influence and traditional influence, like look for the best in both, and then bring that to the table, and you'll
Yeah.
succeed. Like in America, you can't lean all the way to the right and lean all the way to the left. If you're in the center, you're gonna see that both sides are crazy, but you got to look at the good things that the both sides provide. So I think that's the only thing I got for this video.
Well, that was a good information, man. I learned something about your Indian country. Uh, is it's all about respecting people's decision. The only problem here that I see is big companies flexing their muscle and trying to push something that maybe not everybody is either willing or ready to go with that flow. But overall, man, we will see what happens to Starbucks. We will see it's gonna be if it's gonna be another Bud Light
Yeah.
that happened that happened here in the US. But guys, please let us know what you think. Please subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Help us out with that and let us know what else you would like for us to talk about. Leave us a comment. We will get back to you on that. So please, we will see you on the next one and come back and see us again. We will have another video for you guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.